Welcome, welcome. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are streaming from. And so, I am just sharing this live right now before we go ahead and get started. So, that is what I am doing quickly. And listen, I need you all to be doing the same thing. I need to make sure that you are sharing this live as well. I am so grateful that we have made it already to day 3 of my 30-day 10K month challenge. And so if you are here for the first time, put a 1. If this is your day 2, put a 2. If you've been here since day 1 and you're back again, put day 3. So I know who we have here. And if you so happen to come back and watch the replay, I need you to put replay when you come on in. Okay. All right. So we are here. I'm so excited. And so I want to again welcome you back. And listen, again, we are streaming across several different platforms. So I'm looking at you here. I'm looking at you all over here so that you all can get all this good information. And again, make sure you are sharing. All right. So if you're back again today, even if this is your first day, it doesn't matter. What that says to me is that you're not just interested, you're invested. That's what that says to me. You're not just interested, you're invested, right? And so it says to me that you're not just curious, you're committed. Right. And so I need you to drop a fire emoji in the chat if you are ready for the day 3 shift. I need to see who's ready. I need to know who's ready. Who's ready for the day 3 shift? And it was so good to look at your feedback yesterday, and I saw some messages and individuals who participated in the challenge. They're saying like, this is just what I need. This hit home for me. I'm so glad that I joined. Right. And I'm so glad that you also joined and that you were obedient to the call to join. Right. And so I'm so excited that you are here. And so listen, there are some people who are here for the first time. There are some people who are here who do not know who Dr. Tiffany R. Harris is. So let me let you know. I am the mindset architect for limitless success. And I help women, entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, and speakers renew their confidence, restructure their business, and multiply their income through faith, mindset, and execution strategies. That's what I do. And that is the whole purpose of this 30-day challenge. And so every day I will continue to introduce myself because we have new people who join again across these multiple platforms daily. So I want to make sure you know who I am and the problems that I solve. And so contact me if you have a need. So for my day ones, you know that I have been grounding us in scripture each day, right? And so the first day, it was Romans 12:2, and we talked about the renewing of our minds. And then day 2, yesterday, our grounding scripture was Genesis 1:28, where we talked about being fruitful and multiply, right? And so today, our scripture is going to be what it was on day 1, Romans 12:2, the renewing of your mind. And some of you may be saying, well, Dr. Harris, now why are we going back to that scripture? I got all the information that you said. I understand that I need to believe that I can have a 10K month. I have it. I understand that I can not just multiply my income, but my mindset will allow me to multiply my impact in abundance, right? In presence and visibility as well. And so I don't know if you're like me, but repetition will yield repeated results. Right. And so for some of us, we have to hear things over and over again. And no matter how many times you hear it, you may have heard it 5 times already. And that 6th time, something's going to hit you a little bit different. Now, I know I'm not the only one who have experienced this. And so even with reading the word, I've read scriptures before, but there's something that hits different when I read it over again and I really take time to digest it and not just shove it all down my throat, right? So to speak. How many of you have ever listened to a song that you love and you have to put it on repeat? And every time you hear it, you get a different thought, a different feeling, a different reaction. And so this is why it's important to repeat Romans 12 and 2, because at the core, at the root, at the base of my coaching program, whether I'm coaching speakers, right, whether I'm coaching entrepreneurs, whether I'm speaking on stage to students, whether I'm doing workshops or trainings for 1,200 women in California, my base foundation is always rooted and grounded in mindset. And I have actually created a mindset framework. That's how deep this is. Right. And so we're going back to Romans 12 and 2, and it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. As you are exiting 2025 and transitioning into 2026, your Q1, Q2, Q3, your whole 2025 mindset cannot go. You cannot expect to see change if you're operating with the same mindset, a mindset that has never changed. Okay? And so this is why I'm going to keep beating in the importance of Romans 12 and 2. Somebody put in the chat, I will renew my mind. I will renew my mind. And so this scripture is not just spiritual, it's strategic. And so some of you may be saying, well, wait a minute, what live did I jump on? I thought we was going to be talking about as a kid, sass, getting to the money, getting to the bag, but you need to know, get back to the basics. You need to know where it all starts. If you have not shifted your mindset and even began to think that you deserve wealth, that you deserve increase, that you deserve overflow and abundance, you're not going to be prepared to receive it, and God's going to be less likely to give it to you. Right? And so God is telling you, you cannot enter a season with an old mindset. You cannot build new revenue with old habits. It's not going to work. What you did before didn't get you the outcome that you were looking for. So why not try something different? You can't handle 10K months with a dollar mind. I'm going to say that again. You cannot handle 10K months with dollar thinking. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. And some of you may know, and if you're new here, you don't know, but I am the president of an online university called Good Life Christian University. And I had a conversation with the chancellor yesterday, Dr. Kalai, and we were talking about mindset, right? And while we talk about shifting your mindset, part of that also requires shifting to a wealth mindset. Believing and knowing and thinking that you are worth more. You were designed for more. You were created for more. But it starts up here. So if your mind can never fathom, if your mind can never wrap itself around you having a 10K, 15K, 20, 30, 50K month, some of us, some of you will do 10K weeks, 10K days. But if your mind does not get there, your body, your actions, your feelings will never arrive there. Like you have to see it before you see it. You have to, y'all heard this. You have to believe it before you can achieve it. And it starts up here. Right? Put that in the chat box. It starts in my mind. Yeah, I see you over here. And so let me just talk to you a little bit about what renewing your mind really means, right? And so we're not talking about renewing your entrepreneur mind, right? And so when I talk about renewing your entrepreneur mind, I'm talking about renewing how you see yourself. See yourself as that six-figure income earner. See yourself as that seven-figure income earner. See yourself as going in the room and dominating every stage that you step on. See yourself as the one that individuals want to run to and collaborate with. See yourself as the one who has the only solution and the best solution for those individuals that you were called to serve. So I don't care if you are a baker, you are a shoemaker, you are a producer, you are a real estate agent, you are a truck driver. It does not matter. You have to see yourself, right, as the go-to person. And so, again, when I'm talking about renewing your entrepreneurial mind, it's renewing how you see yourself. It's renewing your expectations. Renewing your expectations that you have for yourself, not the expectations that others have for you. What expectations do you have for yourself? And it should be what he has for you. So you should expect what he expects. Renewing your identity as a CEO. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, when you and God are locked in and y'all are partners, is nothing that cannot happen. Every decision that you make, it should be taken up with him first. So when we're talking about renewing your entrepreneurial mind, renew your decision making. Be intentional with your decision making, even as you're closing out 2025 and you're planning your 2026. Be intentional with every decision that you make. There is nothing that I do without consulting with God first, right? And so my secret sauce, my recipe, my superpower is simple. God is a part of it. He has to be. And so people might say, well, I don't want to keep hearing about God. Do you don't want to hear from me? That's it. And no, I'm not a preacher. I'm not an evangelist. I'm not here to put my beliefs on you. What I'm here to do is telling you the systems, the mindset, right, that has worked for me, that has led people to jumping in my inbox asking me to be their coach. The systems and the mindset that has led to people sending me an email and going to my booking link requesting me to speak. I'm sharing with you my systems and my mindset that has allowed me to speak in schools from Philadelphia to New Jersey to North Carolina. I, I'm trying to tell you what has worked. So when people come to me and say, how did you do it? This is how I did it. And so, see, here's the thing. People want what you want, but they don't want to do what you've done to get to where you are. You know, it's no magic potion. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing that you can't do, right? And so it's also going to require you to renew your discipline. We talked about this since day one. Can I tell y'all how laser focused I am, how locked in? When I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I said this the other day. I post my stuff on social media, I'm off. I schedule it to post. I never have to log on. I have a team who monitors that, manages that. They go in, they check my messages, they respond. They respond to the post because I need to focus on CEO task, right? So that's part of my system that's in place that allows me to do that. And I want you all to be the same. I want you to be able to renew your emotional response as an entrepreneur. Renew the way you handle challenges. And because here's the thing with entrepreneurship, every day, and I'm sure you've heard this, but I'm going to tell you this again. It's not going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It may be A, B, C, D, back down to A, right? You may get all the way to Z and something happens and you got to go back to A. But I need you as an entrepreneur to renew your mind and how you respond and navigate those challenges, how you look at them from a optimistic perspective and growth mindset, and what are the lessons that you're able to learn. And so when I'm talking about renewing your mind, I'm also talking about renewing how you see money. how you see revenue and stewardship. This is all required. This is the blueprint. I also want you to renew how you see everything about your future. And stop thinking, well, it might not work. It can't work. I tried it before. It didn't. Try again. You cannot multiply what you continue to mentally minimize. I'm going to say that again. You cannot multiply what you continue to mentally minimize. Somebody put in the chat, I'm ready to multiply. So I want to share with you some truths about old patterns. So Romans 12:2. So the scripture says, don't conform to the patterns of this world, right? And so conforming means repeating cycles, repeating those cycles that you tried, it didn't work out. So for many of you, the enemy isn't your environment, it's your patterns. When I was a supervisor at a drug and alcohol facility back in 2005, 2006, and one of my colleagues used to always say, nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing will change in your business, in your mind, if you're still operating with those old patterns and ways of thinking. Put in the chat, nothing changes if nothing changes. So patterns like overthinking, procrastination, right? Undercharging, shrinking, fear-based decisions. And we talked about shrinking. I believe that was on day one. And that's when I was saying you were not created small. You were not created to shrink and hide in the background and blend in. Right. There's a quote by Dr. Seuss that I love, and it says, you were born to stand out. So stop trying to fit in. Write that down if you're taking your notes, and I hope that you are, and put it in a chat. I was born to stand out. I want you to, as you are preparing for 2026 and putting your plans in place now, I want you to stop doubting your value. And because some of you are doubting your value, because you are making fear-based decisions, right? That is causing you to shrink and play it safe. No, just imagine what would happen. And Lisa Nichols, one of my coaches, and some of you may know I'm a SAT coach for her company, Motivating the Masses. And she always talks about what would it feel like on the other side of playing it safe? What would it look like and feel like if you leaned into that discomfort, if you tapped into that unfamiliar place, if you did something that you've never done before? And that's what it's going to require for you to do something that you've never done before so that you can see results that you've never seen before. And here's the other thing that needs to stop, that needs to break. Pattern cycles need to end. Waiting for permission. In 2020, I started a clothing line, and it's called Be Inspired Apparel Brand. And one of my inspirational tees says, I don't need their permission to be great. Put that in the chat. I don't need their permission to be great. You don't. God has already called you, stamped you, approved you, and that's all that you need. Nobody else should have that much authority over you to validate when you show up and how you show up. Absolutely not. And so as you are wrapping up 2025 and planning for 2026, and for some of you 2027, I need you to have some non-negotiables. You shrinking, that you're not going to do that no more. Mm-mm. Your presence is a non-negotiable. Your authority is a non-negotiable. Your increase is a non-negotiable. You multiplying in your faith is a non-negotiable. You multiplying in your mindset is a non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. Your value is non-negotiable, right? And so I need you all to stop chasing comfort instead of your calling. And I'm gonna tell you, listen, both hands up. Let me be honest. I ran from the calling. I think I told you all yesterday, I saw something the other day and it said, I don't have a niche, I have a calling. Can I tell you, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Sha'Carri Richardson as fast as I was running from the calling, running from all of you, running from being live, running from being a speaker coach, running from stepping on stages in over 40 different countries, running from going into these schools and talking to the students about mindset and wellness, running from building curriculums for teachers and early child care educators, right? Because I was comfortable in the background. But my solution is non-negotiable, right? My destiny is non-negotiable. What is your non-negotiable? My time is non-negotiable. My prayer life is non-negotiable. What is your non-negotiable? And so, as we are moving forward and talking about the CEO mindset renewal, this means to renew your entrepreneurship mind. What it involves is you consciously choosing to think like a builder, like a leader, like a steward, like a visionary, like a problem solver, like a woman of God, like a man of God, a CEO, not a struggler. Think like a producer, not a passenger. So when you renew your mind, your decisions elevate. When your decisions elevate, your execution elevates. So it's like a ripple effect, it's like a domino effect. And when your execution elevates, your income has no choice but to follow. I'm trying to give y'all the process. I'm trying to give y'all the roadmap. I think some people are just interested in a tell me, just get straight to it. But again, it's deeper, and I want to take you deeper each and every day over the next 30 days. So I want you to put in the chat, when my execution elevates, my income has no choice but to follow. And I see you over here typing. Yep, I see you. I see you. And so here's 3 mind renewals of a 10K month CEO. And again, some of you will do more than this. Some of you will do it in a day, in a week. But for the purposes of this challenge, here's 3 renewals every entrepreneur must go through. A mental renewal. So that's your beliefs. This is where you stop saying, I can't, and start declaring what with God I can. Yesterday was our board member call with Good Life Christian University, and I had another engagement with the mayor's office of women's engagement, so I was not able to make that meeting. But when I went back and I was reading the transcript, and the chancellor, Dr. Kalai, she said she had told the other board members to say, I will have what I say I'm going to have. I don't know if you all understand the power of your tongue. I don't know if you understand the power of speaking things into existence and putting it out in the atmosphere. So I want you to put in the chat, I will have, excuse me, what I say I will have. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Thank you all for your patience. Something was in my throat and I had to cough and get some water. So, we were talking about a mental renewal for CEOs. So, that's your beliefs. And this is where you'll stop saying, I can't, and start declaring that with God, I can. The other renewal is going to be an emotional renewal for CEOs. So, that's your responses. So, instead of reacting in fear, I want you to respond with clarity. Three is your decision renewal. Right, you should be writing this down. And this is your standards. And I want you to stop choosing convenience and start choosing calling. I promise you, I told you, I thought I was Sha'Carri Richardson running from the calling. This was not convenient for me. So, where God fits into your business decisions, again, Romans 12 and 2, is not just about renewing your thoughts, it's about renewing how you discern your decisions. And so, to walk into your next level, you cannot make decisions based on fear, comfort, convenience, people, or pressure. And let me just stay there real quick, making decisions based on people and pressure, because that's where that competition comes in. That's where that idolization of other individuals and their path and their journey comes in. But you have to be patient and allow God to take you through your process, through your journey, so that you can reach the ultimate place that He wants you to go and you can walk in your calling. So don't allow other people to tell you, oh, you're not doing it fast enough, or you're not doing it, or you're doing it too late, so don't start. I don't want you to be consumed by that type of those people or that pressure. And so your decisions must be based on God, what do you want me to do in this season? And that is how you build in alignment. I tell people everything that I do has to be in alignment. I don't go, you won't see me everywhere. I'm not talking to everybody. Everything has to be in alignment. It's funny. I was talking to Dr. Kalai, who's the chancellor of GOCU, and she knows this. I said, "Yeah, I don't talk on the phone a lot. I don't talk to a lot of people. It just, it just has to be in alignment. It has to, like, what are we talking about? Okay, like, where am I going? Why am I going there? Even with, I'm an executive coaching program with Chase Bank, and my executive coach, that was something that we were talking about, with being intentional with where we're showing up, how we're spending our time, where we're spending our time. So that's going to be important. And so here's your action step for today. And we're about to wrap up, yo, because my throat, I feel it, it's coming up again. So, what mindset pattern, that's what I want you to write down. What mindset pattern am I renewing today? And what new pattern am I replacing it with? And then I want you to ask God, Lord, renew my mind so I can think, build, and steward at the level you've called me to. Okay. Hope y'all got that. I got to move on my throat. Something's happening. All right. And so listen, this has been a great day 3, just like day 1 and day 2. And before we end, if you haven't registered yet for the full challenge, I want you to go ahead and click the link in my bio. There's a caption that I put up right before this live started. Go ahead and click that link, and also invite somebody, send them the link so that they can register as well. And throughout this challenge, I'll also be opening early enrollment for the Women Who Multiply experience in 2026, in April of 2026, which I'm so excited about. It's an expansion of what you'll be experiencing over the next 30 days. And I do have some surprises coming up for you during this challenge. And so, for the Women Who Multiply experience in April of 2026, this is where faith, business, mindset, and multiplication collide in one room. So, stay tuned for more details to come. All right, everybody. So, if you are renewing your entrepreneur mind today, I want you to drop renew me in the comments, and then come back tomorrow and meet me for day 4, where we're going to be talking about faith, without works is dead. That's our grounding scripture, James 2:17. Y'all get ready. Bring somebody back with y'all. Upgrade to get the replays. Make sure you come back with your notepads. So we're going deeper. We're thinking higher. We're building stronger. So let's multiply, right? Take care, everybody.